Here we are. You might notice my face looks better. Uh, welcome to, if I can, let's see. This is an experiment, episode 29. Episode 29 of This is an Experiment. What even? This started off, as I think about this, when I started this, there's a part of me, I think, that wanted this to actually become something. What I mean by that is, I think there was a part of me that actually hoped that I would start doing this, and at some point, some people would stumble across this, and they'd say, "Oh my gosh, I want to keep watching this." Whatever, I don't know. Because what does it do for me? Well, plugs the ego, makes me feel good about myself, I guess, or something like that. Right? There's a part of me that actually wanted that. Not all of me. That's not why I started doing it. I was curious. And, if I went back and watched some of the earlier episodes of this, I think you'd see a stark contrast. There'd be a difference in how I showed up then, how I showed up now. As I think about it, there was that version of me was frustrated, sure, confused probably too, a little bit of overwhelm, but there was optimism. There was optimism there that, things were turning around, I guess. Maybe. I don't know if that's an accurate assessment. If I went back and watched the first episode, I don't know if that would line up. I don't even know what I really started this for anyway. And, now that I think about it, I'm just going to share my thoughts. I mean, that's really, really what it was, right? Create a YouTube channel, share your thoughts, and see what happens. and there's a couple of the videos that got views. I think there's a total of 4 views. There's a total of 4 views on this channel, and I don't think any of them were particularly long. And I can't help but wonder, because I can only imagine that if things keep on keeping on the way that they've been as I'm doing this, because it's been probably what, like 3 months? 3 months now? 4 months. Episode 1 was 4 months ago, back when I had hair. I've got it pulled up on the screen over to the side. I don't know. I feel like if I went back and watched it, a lot would have changed. Lots changed. Maybe. I don't know. So, what's going on in my world now? I'm taking a hard step back. Here's the thing for me. I'm good at coaching people. I know that. There's no doubt in my mind. The question is, do I want to try to continue to do that as a business? Do I want to be a coach professionally? I don't know anymore. The question isn't about, do I want to be a coach? That's not a question. I'm already a coach. I'm already a coach. It's not a question of, do I want to be a coach or not? I'm already a coach. I'll never stop coaching people. It's in my DNA at this point. question is, do I want to try to create a business around it, to scale it, whatever? And, the thing that I've been thinking about a lot recently is where I fit in. Who can I serve? Who do I help? How do I do it? And, I can help people with an assortment of things, improving various aspects of their life, and I could put courses together and charge money and all of that. But why would they buy it? Ultimately, it's like, why would someone buy a course from me? There's all sorts of, videos on YouTube and podcasts and all this stuff. Even Netflix now has a series on how the mind works and how to get better sleep and all that stuff. And I just think, the thing that keeps coming back to me is that all of this stuff is almost becoming common knowledge. It's becoming common knowledge. Like, would you sell an e-course on how to do basic arithmetic? I don't know. Would you? Maybe. How do you do single and double digit multiplication? Common knowledge, except for the people that don't know it, right? That's true too, though. You can say reading and writing is common knowledge, unless somebody doesn't know how to read and write, in which case learning how to read and write would be a very valuable skill that you could charge money for. But isn't that like a basic right? Like, why should being able to read or write be a luxury? Why should that be a privilege? It shouldn't. And I think about that for myself, and the same thing. How do you think properly? How do you think logically? How do you grow? How do you become a better person? How do you have an effective mindset? And all of this stuff. Why? The question then is, do I believe that should be common knowledge? Do I believe that should be information that people should be able to access whenever they want to? That it should be something that isn't a privilege, that isn't a luxury? The answer is yes. It's not like guarded. It's not information that should be like guarded as a well-kept secret. I think about that. It's like, the insider secrets to success. Well, if you want other people to succeed, but you want to probably, it just, someone say it's a mindset thing, but I don't believe it's a mindset thing. And could I, at the core of my hindrance and reluctance around creating something like that is that if I believe that this is information that people should have easy access to, stuff that should be common knowledge, and that it should be a right and not a privilege, right? It should be a basic human right to know how to think properly, how to how to use logic and reason. That should be a human right, not a privilege. And being a gatekeeper, because that's effectively that's what this is. If I have knowledge and insight and wisdom, I want to share that with other people, but only if they do XYZ, right? Being a gatekeeper to the knowledge, insight, and wisdom, then what that does is it puts it into the category of being a privilege. You have to go through this gauntlet in order to have access to my knowledge, insight, and wisdom. You have to jump over hurdles and crawl through tunnels and spin around in circles, whatever. I have knowledge, insight, and wisdom, and it'll help you. I promise it'll help you. My knowledge, insight, and wisdom. And if you jump over these hurdles and crawl through these tunnels and spin around circles, then I'll grant you access to it, and your life will be better. Do I want to be a gatekeeper for something that I consider to be a right and not a privilege? No, because if I act as a gatekeeper, then it's no longer a right, it's a privilege. Do I think that open access to mental health resources should be a right, or should it be a privilege? I think it should be a right. People should be entitled to mental health resources in some capacity. So if I act as a gatekeeper to that information, then I am diametrically opposed to my beliefs. I believe that anybody should have access to this, yet I'm being a gatekeeper, so it's no longer right, it is a privilege. Diametrically opposed. No wonder it's not going to work. So then there's options. Okay, so what do we do? Now it's a problem. Problem is I can't sell this knowledge, insight, and wisdom because selling it is gatekeeping, which is diametrically opposed to my belief that it's a right for anybody. Anybody should, have access to this. Well, I can then give it away for free all the time, and if people are smart enough to pay attention, then they will benefit from it. Or I can change my beliefs, right? I can say, you know what? Not everybody deserves the right to have access to mental health or a good mindset or blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Not everybody deserves the right to it. So it is a privilege. It's absolutely a privilege. You have to earn access to my knowledge, insight, and wisdom about having mental health, progress or, mindset growth, whatever. You have to earn it. And change my belief around it. That's the position that I'm put in. And I can paradigm shift all day long. Sure. And you know what? Let's do this. Sorry, I'm snapping at my dog. So here's a paradigm shift. Let's look at it in a different light. People should have access to mental health resources and all of that stuff. So so here's the thing, and this is like one of the things that has gotten on me for so long. And I've ranted about this before to people, is that despite the fact that mental health is such a problem and people's mindsets are such a problem and victimization is such a problem, by having it be a part of the medical field, it then gets put into something that is shielded by gatekeeping. Do you have the financial resources to see a medical professional for your mental health? Because it's a privilege, not a right. You don't have the right to health care. You don't have the right to good mental health. It's a privilege. If you have the money, then you can have access, right? Money provides access. I got a problem with that. I have a problem with that. I don't believe that it should be that way. I believe anybody should have access to this information. So what do I do? Make it for free. You know, I'm gonna stop marketing. You know, I've joked for a while, not for a while, for a little bit. Joked for a little bit that I got into coaching professionally for the wrong reason. I got into it. I got into coaching as a business to help people. Silly me. I shouldn't have done that. Why? Why shouldn't I have gotten into that business to help people? Well, because everybody else is doing it to make money. And where everybody else is driven by the dollar signs, they play the game of dollar signs. And I don't want to play that game. It's not about that. And I think, you know, if I had to whittle it down and get to the core of all the stuff that's floating around in my mind, the core component of cognitive dissonance in my success in coaching in terms of business, as a business, is that I don't want to be the gatekeeper of this information, or rather, not I don't want to be the gatekeeper. I'm gonna dive down into that. What just popped up for me. I'm gonna dive into that in a second. I don't want money to be the gatekeeper for people getting help from resources that I have to offer. Because when I think about it, you know, all of the marketers, you know, they're like, you know your people. Who are your people? Who are the ones that need help? Who are the ones that need you the most? Who are the people that need me the most? They're fucking broke as shit. They're depressed as shit. They fucking hate their job. Everybody disappoints them. They hate people. They don't see any point to doing anything. Life is meaningless. Not only is it meaningless, it's pointless. And those people, they're not going to pay me $4,700. They're not going to pay me $3,800. They're not going to pay me $2,700. Not going to pay me $1,500 or $997, $749 or $447 or $247. Fuck, they're not even going to pay me $47. Fuck, they probably won't even pay me attention because they're so lost in their own goddamn misery. So how do you connect with those people? That's the challenge. How do you connect with someone that is so lost in their own misery that they don't see the benefit of trading 3 cases of beer for a course in how to overcome mental health problems? They don't see the value in staying in from going to the bar and instead watching videos on YouTube about being a better version of yourself. Those are the people that need me. Not some entrepreneur that has an 8, 9, 7, 6 figure bit, whatever. They don't need me. Maybe they do. I don't know. They don't need me the most. The people that need me the most are the ones that are so lost in their own misery that they don't believe that anyone can help them at all. They're so lost in their misery that they feel like they're a lost cause, that their life is a lost cause, that their dreams are a lost cause, their accomplishments are a lost cause. Yeah, I had success, but this is why I didn't deserve it, you know? How do I reach those people? I don't know. I don't know. Where are they at? Mindlessly scrolling through social media. What do I want to avoid entirely? Social media. Fucking hate it. I do. It's really great for the ego when you know how to use it. You know, social media, Facebook became a tool for validation. That's what it was for me. I got really good at it too. Got really good at getting validated on Facebook, getting validation on social media. Not everyone can do that. It's true. Not everyone can do that. Some people, they really want it. They try and they try and they try, but they just can't get it. I got really good at doing that. I want validation. I want the feel goods. I can do it. But that doesn't do any good for me. It doesn't do any good for anyone else either. It makes you feel good. But aside from that, it not only, it makes you feel good for a split second. And then what? And then you just want more of it. Just want more. Give it more. Give me more validation. Why? Because I don't have enough belief in myself. I can't self-validate, and so I need to rely on other people to do it for me. It's a problem. It's a real problem. So my people that are lost in their own misery and have nothing better to do with their lives other than to scroll through Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and probably some other social media network that I don't know about. Because the algorithms, right? They show people what people interact with, right? So if someone's already in that place where they've started to escape from the victim mentality, their own victimization, they're starting to crawl out of the hole. They can go in, they can, you know, thumbs up and comment on, you know, self-help and spiritual, blah, blah, and all of that stuff. And, you know, the algorithms will show them more of it, right? But what if someone hasn't reached that point yet? That the algorithms aren't showing them that stuff. How do you get into their feed? How do you get into their feed? Well, you meet them where they're at. There's usually a problem with that, right? Is that in order to connect with those people at a certain energy level with, you know, low vibe shit that I don't even speak that language anymore. Not fluently. Kind of. I want to. I can do loose translations. The problem with that is then it drags me down, and so it's like, what do I do? First place that I go to is social. I mean, it's true though. It's like what the those people, they're the ones like, I mean, sure they're there in real life too. I mean, I can find them and all of that, but it's like, you know, it's like, what do they do? What do those people do in their free time? They mindlessly scroll through shit, trash. So it's like, I don't know. It's like I have to. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't even know what I came on to talk about with this. I mean, that's what this channel is now. It's just me working through my thoughts. It's not even a YouTube channel. This is like a documentation of my life. Not my life entirely, but, you know, things that I think about. And you know, lots of times I have my revelations by doing this. What was the revelation that I had to look when I started talking about how the people that are my people are the ones that are so lost in their own goddamn misery that they don't see any point to life? Like, that's true. Those are my people, and they're not gonna pay me. Okay, so let's think. You know, the first time that I really thought about being better version of myself. It was Tai Lopez. I mean, think he's kind of a clown a little bit, but you know, there is some truth to, you know, to his stuff. And it's, you know, one of the things that I think about is there's got to be some amount of cognitive dissonance and some, I mean, I don't, in how that stuff works. I mean, how you can do that. Anyway, the I it was probably on Facebook. You know, I'd been seeing ads for all sorts of random stuff. I saw some ad. Actually, it might have even been on YouTube, and it was, you know, about living the good life, health, wealth, and happiness, or some shit like that. And I don't know what the ad was, but I, you know, clicked through and I went through the funnel and blah blah and all that stuff. And I bought the $67, for the 67 steps to having a good life or whatever. And it was, as I recall, basically Tai Lopez ranting about a different topic for about an hour, um, every single day. It's like day one, this is the topic. Day two, this is the topic. Day three, this is your topic. Um, and I think that's the moment when I first started thinking about a better life. Maybe. Maybe it was, I don't know if it was. It was. I think it was. It was before I broke up with my girlfriend. I mean, I think that video was like what made me break up with my girlfriend. I was like, well, shit, I'm in this relationship and I don't really like it. I guess maybe I should break up with her. Why am I wasting my time, right? And then I broke up with her. I mean, and then I didn't finish the course. Uh, it was $67. If you don't think it's worth it, send us an email and we'll get a refund. We'll give you a refund and all that, right? Which I did. I did. For me, I think I was like, this isn't worth it. This is all cool, fun, good information, but it's not worth the $67 that I paid for it. Not worth it. For whatever reason. Which brings me back to the point of my people, the ones that are so lost in their own misery, that they would rather spend $67 a month on alcohol than something that's going to help them lead a better life. They don't see the value in the thing that's going to help them lead a better life. They don't see the value trade-off. It doesn't click for them. They don't see how, because, if I could go back to that version of me, knowing what I know now, I would be like, dude, all you have to do is just listen to this. You don't even have to practice it. Just listen to it every day, and things are going to change, and your life's probably going to get better because it would change the way that I was thinking about the world. And that's the first step. It doesn't even have to be thinking about changing the way you view the world to the right way, quote unquote, because there is no real right way. The first step to changing your world view, to changing your perspective, is to just consider other possibilities. You don't even have to believe them. You don't even have to adhere to them. You don't even have to practice them. All you have to do is consider it. What if? Maybe it's true. Maybe it's possible. That's all you have to do. But me was like, no, I need that $67 to go to the bar. And it's like, that's not the thought that was going through my head. That, I wasn't making that assessment of, well, I get the $67 back and what am I going to do with it? Well, I'm probably going to spend at least $67 on alcohol. So there's that. And it's like, okay, well, I guess I could, maintain access to this and just not drink as much. Nope. And those are my people. They're the ones that don't see the cost compromise, you know, trade off benefit. Those are my people. So what do I do? Just make a bunch of fucking free ass content. Bunch of free shit. Just give it to people. Just give it away. All of it. Doesn't matter. Because it's not about the money. There's lots of, millionaires. They say it's not about the money anymore. And it's easy to say that it's not about the money anymore when you have more money than you could possibly need. Easy to say that. Easy. Or when you haven't gotten to that point, which is where I'm at, I'm still going to say it. It's not about the money. Money doesn't fucking matter. I'm tired of money. I'm fucking tired of money. Tired of money ruling my life. Because, the truth is it does in the world that we live in. If you don't live off on a Amish farm where everything is self-sustaining, then you're a slave to money. It's just true. You're a slave to money. Because money is the gatekeeper. Again, money is the gatekeeper. If you don't have money, you don't get a house or an apartment. If you don't have money, you don't get food. If you don't have money, you don't get to eat. Money is the gatekeeper. Well, okay. Currency, which basically money. And you know what? It's not that money is the gatekeeper. Currency is the gatekeeper. It's the people that regulate the usage of money. The powers that be. Money is an illusion. Money is an illusion. Not having money is an illusion. Having money is an illusion. So how do you cut out the need for money? Well, you cut out the need to have access to the things that money is the gatekeeper for. Cut out the need for access. If you don't need to access something that is using money as a gatekeeper, then you don't need money for it. Okay, Netflix, right? Money is a gatekeeper for Netflix. If you don't have money, you don't get access to Netflix. It's a paid service, product, whatever. Netflix, money is a gatekeeper. But if you don't need Netflix, then you don't need the money to get access to Netflix. I don't need money. I don't need that money. I don't need the money that is required for that. Excuse me. Imaginary audience in the future that's watching this. If anybody ever watches this, sees this. Oh, all right. You know what? I think I'm gonna call it quits. You know what's really been going on here. Before I call it quits, it's really been going on here. I'm entering a different space, Zen space, because I really have gotten fed up with all of this. And by all of this, I mean just like stuff. All of this stuff, things. And it is, I've said this multiple times before. It's like, maybe just, get rid of all my stuff and, become a monk and move out to the mountains somewhere. Maybe I'll just do that. Get away from society entirely and just be a monk out in the mountains. And I started watching some stuff on Alex Becker, I think is his name. And I just stumbled across his videos the other day. And I mean, I saw a lot of, me in him. Not to say that I'm, YouTube. Well, what is it? YouTube's most woke and most intelligent billion trillionaire success god or whatever I don't know, he's got some goofy intro. But yeah, he's like, yeah, I don't have anything here. I have my bed, I have my desk, I have my computer, and like that's it. Or something like that. I don't know. And says that he lives like a monk, basically. And there's something that is just so freaking appealing about that. And now I'm kind of like, how do I get rid of all my stuff? It's true. I mean, like, here's part of it is like some stuff it's just easier to hold on to than it is to get rid of. For example, let me just pull out an example. I don't know. Like you know what? I take that back. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking it's easier to hold on to it than it is to sell it. Right? You want to sell something, you have to like take pictures and list it on a marketplace and have conversations with someone and blah blah blah. And yeah, it's like, well, what if you just give it the fuck away? You just give your shit away. You don't have to sell it. You have to give it away. Oh, but you're losing money. Losing money? Money's already spent. Money's already gone. Why? It's not a loss. It's just getting rid of stuff. And it's just stuff anyway. You can always get more stuff if you want to. You can always get more stuff. So maybe it's just time to get rid of stuff. Maybe it's just time to get rid of stuff. And, it's like if you can't sell it, if you can't give it away, what do? You throw it in the trash? Well, then it's, it's in a landfill somewhere. It's out in the middle of the ocean, like harming the environment. Like, it's like, what else? I mean, it's going to get there eventually anyway, right? It's either going to stay in this house or it's going to end up in a landfill or it's going to make its way to someone else's house and then go into a landfill or something. With all the space technology we have, I don't know why we don't just start putting all of our trash into little just receptacles. We can rocket out into space and just, put it out there and let it float around where it's not harming the planet Earth. Hell, put it on some sort of path where it orbits the planet Earth for a little bit until it tries to re-enter. And then when it tries to re-enter, it burns up as it tries to re-enter through the atmosphere and incinerates. That's one way to do it. All right. Well, anyway, long story short, I'm trying to figure out how to live like a monk now, I guess. It's the thing that's been on my mind for a long time, and now I'm kind of like, just do it. Just be a monk. Just live like a monk. If he can do it, I can do it. Cause I do like I get it. It's it's freedom from attachment is what it is. All of these things we have attachments to, all of our stuff, our property. And most of it just sits around and doesn't really do anything. So why have it? I don't know. So, I don't know. Anyway, those are the thoughts that are on my mind today. All right, so this was an experiment, episode 29. Episode 29. Today is December 8th. I just realized my mic level might have been a little low for all of this, so I apologize. At any rate, I'm going to peace out, and I'll see you next time around.